Talking to head football coach Pete Shinnick. Coach, your spring practice culminates Saturday, 1 o'clock, Grace P. Johnson Stadium. Talk about how the spring season has gone. Had a lot of guys coming back for next year, but just talk about what your goals were going into spring practice, whether you accomplished the goals, any kind of extra things that you felt this team has progressed forward with.
Well, it started with a great offseason. Joey Hannett really did a fantastic job getting our team ready. And so one of the things that we wanted to accomplish was get this team in great shape and then create spring ball very similar to in-season. Have some hard days during the week, back-to-back days, and then go out and play a game and see how this team would hold up and how this team would handle it. And really pleased with how our guys responded. I think this is the best conditioned team we've ever gone through spring with. They've got a great idea of what they need to do in the fall, when they come back, what type of shape they need to be in. So we were really able to get a lot done from that standpoint. And then I think, schematically, playing with some new guys in there and then trying to develop the skills of the returners. Really pleased with how that's progressed.
Now, you did have a luxury that a lot of other teams across country won't have, the fact that you return more than 20 seniors for next year's team. A lot of this team's success has been built on the leadership, but talk about the leaders that have come forward and the leadership you've seen from your senior class.
Sure. No, we've got guys, I think, on both sides of the ball that have really stepped up and provided really good leadership. Fred Williams and Darkus Elliott at the linebacker spot, Devontae Bush at defensive line, Luke Charles, Wes Carter on the offensive side of the ball, Ben DeSalle, T-Bell Williams, really providing, I think, what you're looking for. And our teams, I think, if they're going to have success, and you've seen it over the years, it's going to come from a handful of seniors who really step up and understand what that role is. The senior class is large. It's done a good job of understanding what their role is. So pleased with those guys and how this thing's looking going into fall.
Now, another luxury, talk about a couple of seniors here. Luxury, you've had second straight spring. You got a proven starter under center for you. Just talk about Luke. He had 2 pretty good seasons so far, but how has he progressed this spring?
Pleased with his progression. He knew there were things he needed to work on, things that he needed to improve from last year. He put up good numbers last year, but not as good as he did his sophomore year. He's not happy with that, and he's probably one of the harder working guys on our team. So very pleased with what he's done and how he's done it. And then I think defensively, if you just look over there and you look at Fred Williams, a guy who comes back from an injury, a guy who wasn't able to play all last season, really gets a bonus senior year. Excited about the work that he's put in, and excited about the opportunity to have him on our team for one more season.
Now, other end of the spectrum, had a lot of red shirts last year. What guys have you seen that will step up and see some ample playing time after sitting out and just practicing last year?
Sure. I think wide receiver B.J. Bunn has really stepped in and done a nice job learning the offense and getting comfortable in it. Tommy Pettis, freshman offensive lineman, has really worked his way, getting a lot of reps. Over on the defensive side of the ball, Tyreek Holloway at safety has done a really nice job for us. There's been a lot of pluses with some of those guys. And then a lot of the guys that we redshirted, are in the 2 deep and battling for playing time. So as this plays out and as it plays out every year, we're going to rely on those seniors, those older guys, but at the same time, there'll be a good mix of young redshirt guys playing for us next year.
Now, me and you talked before we got on camera. Talk about sort of different kind of scoring system, different kind of setup. But talk about what fans, the game format for Saturday as we head into our spring game.
Sure, we're going to divide the team up, and it's going to be a lot of our first string on one team and going against kind of the 2s and the 3s. We want to go as much game format as possible. We feel like we got the right numbers to be able to do that this year. And we've done everything, I think. We've done a point system for first downs. We've done a point system for interceptions, that kind of thing. This year we're going to let 2 sides kind of go at it and see what the result is.